This was our last game before the playoffs, and we were gassed. But we sized up the other team and made a plan.
Listen, seriously.
We need the content. Score us a goal.
As the least experienced person out here, that probably wasn't going to happen. But I had to find a way to help the team.
Me and you on the bench today.
Crazy, bro. At 1 a.m.
And not just crack jokes on the bench, because this game was going to be tough. In my first shift, I go to steal a pass, but instead it gets stolen from me. They pass it across for a shot on goal, but it gets bobbled. So I track it down, get my stick in there, and I knock it free. The offense goes on the rush, and I hang back to cover defense. And I think it's the right play until I hear Coach Penn. So I'm still figuring out how to read these situations. But luckily, my partner on defense was there to show me how it's done, by connecting with none other than Coach Penn himself for the first goal of the night. Junior comes barreling down the boards and cuts inside, but then loses the puck on this poke check. But Andy scoops it up, takes it in, and dishes it to Coach Penn. And Penn wasn't even playing for our team, but when he heard we were short players, he laced up at 1 a.m. to help us out. After Penn's goal, we tried to keep the lead, and I was fighting them off left and right. But then I got megged and fell, not just once, but twice. I was starting to get really frustrated. It felt like every time I tried to pivot, I fell. And for a second, I started to wonder if I was the only one struggling this badly. And then I saw their guys falling too. I was just out there skating my butt off, and maybe that's what trying looks like when your legs are gone. At intermission, we were up 0-1 thanks to Big Tay.
Hey, nice to see you.
Oh yeah, hell yeah.
Yeah, you're saving us, Tay.
Even though we were having a tough time on defense, Tay was holding it down. Now, Coach Penn also appreciates Tay's efforts, but he knows that if Tay is having to make all those saves, then it means we're doing something wrong.
And that's why we need to make the right plays. Once he makes those saves, we pick our heads up and make a pass to get out of the goal.
But what Penn's asking us to do is something I've been trying to figure out since I started playing hockey a year and a half ago. Not because I don't get it, but because it's harder than it sounds when you're out there. We lose the puck in our zone, they score, and now we're tied 1-1. And then Penn's speech about getting the puck out of our zone is still bouncing around in my head when, boom, I'm battling for the puck again, right by our net. I'm doing everything I can to keep them from scoring and taking the lead. When I finally get the puck, everything in my chest is telling me to just launch this puck out of here. But then I hear everyone in my head telling me to keep my head up and make a pass. Now that pass definitely could have been better, but at least I slowed the play down and looked up. The next time we get the puck in our zone, Andy gets swarmed. I used to let them battle it out and wait for the pass, but in game 2 I learned that just coming in and taking it is a much better way of getting the puck and going the other way with it. I still have a long way to go, but at least it feels like I'm making some progress. And then somehow we scored another one.
You score? Way to go, Junior.
And just like that, we were up 2-1 with only a few minutes left. But we all know how fast the lead can disappear. And these boys had a couple of tricks up their sleeve, so we had to be ready. Now, I'm not sure if this is a plan, or a prank, or both. But one of their guys tries to sneak by us and post up by Big Tay in hopes of getting an easy goal. But we were on to him. Then, with only 1 minute left in the game, they pull their goalie. So we yelled from the bench to let them know. Then Coach Penn gets a hold of it, launches it across the rink, and it goes in. So game 3 didn't go perfectly, but we got the win, and I'm making some progress. Now just to get some sleep, because tomorrow is playoffs.
Thanks for staying late, bro.
Oh, yeah.